Hi everybody. I am going to teach you guys today how to make monograms. It's something a little bit different than the other tutorials that I generally teach, but I do get a lot of questions about how to create them. A lot of people want them for weddings and whatnot, and this can easily translate into business logos or titles or something of the sort. So I think that this is a great one to show you guys today. So I'm going to show you a few monograms, and they're very easy to create. As I said, you can create them in Photoshop, GAMP, PowerPoint, Word, Publisher. Um, I'm going to do one today in Photoshop. And then if you guys look at my channel, you'll also find a monogram made in GAMP as well as one made in Word. So you guys get a good idea on how to create them in all of the programs that you have available to you. For those of you who may not have Photoshop and are doing this for your wedding or something along those lines, you can download Photoshop for free for 30 days and try it out and get your wedding graphics created. So you could do your monograms and invitations if you were so inclined while you have that 30-day free trial of Photoshop. So this is very usable for a lot of people. This is one version of a monogram. I do like creating mine in Photoshop because you can put them on a blank background, which means you can put these on your wedding invitations and not have a white background behind it. You can move them onto anything and they'll take on the background color of the paper. So if you were putting this on a red envelope, you could certainly do that and it would look like that rather than, on white or black or whatever. So that is one advantage you have of using GIMP or Photoshop for those types of items. Here's another monogram I've created. This one's a little more basic. And then here's one more. This one's got the big B behind it. Just a reminder, if you are adding that last initial, not only is it considered to be bad luck, but it is also bad etiquette to use your future last initial behind there if for anything that's done prior to the wedding. So this would be a great thank you card, but it wouldn't be a great invitation. So just keep that in mind. And here's one that's a little bit more fun. So we are going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to teach you how to do this. The easiest way is obviously start a new project. And I work in 512 pixels frequently. You may choose to use inches, and if you want to, it's right there. And 3 inches by 3 inches or something along those lines would be plenty of space for you to work. So I use pixels. And then basically what you're going to do, the first thing you're going to do is pick a font. And I'm going to use the names Jane and John Doe today. So there's Jane. The easiest way to get new fonts is to do a Google search. There are literally thousands and thousands and thousands of free fonts available to you. And all you need to do is download them and then drop them into your font file, which you will find on your control panel of your computer. And once you do that, restart any of the programs you're using, Word, PowerPoint, GIMP, and they will all draw off of that font file. So literally thousands of fonts available to us, and so basically just picking one that you like for our project today. And it really doesn't matter what we pick, so I'll start with this one. This is Gazelle, and I kind of like it. So I just start by putting both names first. So there's Jane. And I'm going to check this little box up in the corner if you're using Photoshop. And I'm going to use the text tool again and create John. Oops. And there he is. And then let's say we were having, and then the check mark again, of course. Let's say we were going to do a teal wedding. I'm just going to select teal and red. It's kind of a pretty hip combination right now, I think. There's a teal color. And we're going to use the and sign. Oh, this particular font doesn't have an and sign, so we might have to find another one that has an ampersand in it, and that's not one of them either. All of a sudden I can't find I can't find one all of a sudden. So be careful when you download it, or you can just download another font with it that's similar to get that ampersand in there. Let's see if this one has one. Yep, beautiful. Okay, perfect. Now we'll just make sure it's in our teal color. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we are going to get out our selector tool, which is this arrow up here. It's also known as the move tool. And click on this box, and it's your transform box. And you just pull the corners of it to make it bigger. So this is bigger, and you just hit the check mark. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to click on this and layer, and it's right here over in the corner under your layers tab, and just pull it down below John and Jane, because John and Jane should be on the top. So Jane first according to etiquette. So we'll just make her a little bigger and line her up where we want it. And then John, oops, click the check mark saying we're good. And we'll make John bigger as well. I like to do this to see if that they're the same size. So this is a little bit too big. There we go. Okay, and we'll put John down here. And you can use your arrow keys to move it around to where you want it. Okay? And then if you wanted to put in your date, let's say black was also one of your colors, you could add a date to this. Oops, I need to make this box a little bit bigger. Let's say your date was, I don't know, I'll make it June 20th, 2012. And this is a little bit big, so we're going to drop the point size down to 60 and slide this under here, and then just transform it to whatever size you want. You could put it up here under here, you can leave it here, you can place it under here. I'm going to make it black just to give us some color variation, and to do that click on your text box and then highlight it. Oops. And just click this black right here and make sure your black's selected and hit OK. And now we have it in black. Okay, that looks great. And then let's say that we wanted to make this a little fancier. We can click on the bottom layer and then hit the shift key and click on your top layers and click link layers. And then we can make this all a little bit smaller, just like that. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to take this red color. So to get a hold of the red color, I'm going to use the eyedropper. And I'm going to select my tool, my shape tools, and I'm going to choose a custom shape. And I'm going to pick in here a ring, just like that. And I'm going to create a ring and slide it around this. And then I am also going to take the eyedropper tool and pick up this teal color. And I'm going to create another ring. And size it. Oops, it didn't go to my teal color. So if it doesn't, what you can do is click on it, copy this number right here, and then click up here and paste it. And there we go. There's our teal. And I'm going to just line this up in here like that. And there you have it. There is a super easy monogram using Photoshop. If you really wanted to get creative, you could, instead of using the circles, you could add a layer, and you do that by clicking this little sticky pad looking thing and getting your brushes out. There are tons of brushes to download, so I highly suggest going and searching for Photoshop or GIMP brushes. And we're going to make this smaller and click it, and then drag this underneath everything else so it's in the background. And then you can, just really experiment with what you like. There are, like I said, thousands and thousands of free brushes. DeviantArt is a great website to pick up free brushes from if you wanted to. And since our little and sign isn't showing up very well anymore, you can unlink everything. Click on it, shift, right click, and then hit unlink. And you can come down here to this and sign and highlight it with your text tool. And you can change the color of it. We just changed it to black. which I think is a little too harsh. Or you could just change it to a darker teal color. So eyedropper tool and highlight it again. And let's make this dark teal. There we go. And there you go. So there's some very easy ways to make monograms. And then how I personally would save this, I would hide the background just like that. And I know it doesn't look good, but it's going to pick up whatever color it's on. So if you were printing this on an invitation and you had ivory instead of white, you won't have a white box on there. So you would hide that background by clicking on the little eyeball and go File, Save As, and then you'd save it as a PNG file. And there you have it. And then name it and save it, and it's done. It's so easy to do, and I know you'll have a lot of great success with making your own.